All right, guys, so we're going to watch one of the videos from my Blender Octane 101 guide. It's a full course that I'm basically making to teach you how to use Blender Octane. For those of the members who are in the community, they get immediate access to videos as they're being released because I'm building the course as we go. So if you're interested in that, check the link down below. All right, boom, here we are. So what I'm going to quickly do is jump over into the world settings so you can see what I've got set up here. So this is the setup that I baked into the scene for members who download the starter kit. We've got our visible actually this is our visible HDRI. This is what you actually see, the backdrop. Here's our color environment. Basically, if I just wanted to make the whole world, lighting, everything just blue, this is where you would do that between these two nodes here. And then here's our HDRI, which I'm using for a light source, okay? So I'm gonna quickly just jump over here. And this is our typical HDR world setup. If I isolate it just to this is your HDRI world setup. You have your RGB to a texture environment. This actually goes into the world output, right? This is how you set up an HDRI with a spherical projection and this to control the rotation of that, okay? Now, what I've done was, if I take this setup here and let me just plug it in to right here and then jump over here and let me unhook invisible environment. Let me just jump out. This is what we've got, just a standard HDRI. And if I grab this and rotate it, you see everything is moving, right? It's one HDRI, it's the light source, it's also showing up in the reflections and the refractions. It's showing up everywhere, right? Now, if I want more control, like I love this lighting, I love the lighting coming in from the side here, and I like everything about the lighting. I just don't like the background. Like I want it to be like a studio environment, not like somebody's house. So what I can do, if I'm gonna come back here, let me hook up my old setup again. I'm going to go ahead and plug this back into this environment switch node. And this is all it is. It's just a switcher, right? It's allowing me to switch between this and this, right? So let me plug this back up how I had everything set up. And then here. So what I do is I duplicate the whole HDR world setup. I bring it down here. And now this is going to be our backdrop HDRI. But there's a few extra settings that you have to set up here. So if I'm using the switcher node, right? Switching 1 to 1 is it's going to be basically, if I wasn't using this, you'll just plug it into here, into your environment output. Look at visible environment, what you're visually going to see in reflections, refractions, and the background, okay? So what I do is the same setup, but on this texture node, if you notice here, I have backplate, reflections, and refractions ticked. Visible environment, I want to see these. If you go back here, they're not checked because again, I don't want to see these. I just want this to be light only in this situation, okay? Because I'm going to have a separate backdrop for my background, right? So I'm going to come in here, kill that. I'm going to add in a new HDRI, something totally different. Hey guys, if you're new here and you want to learn Blender Octane, I got a free 101 guide that will help you get up to date, started with Blender Octane for free. Links down in the description. Now we see our studio, but we are still getting that same light source. Our first original light source is still being here, but we're not seeing that because this is checked. If I turn this off and if I turn this off, now look. There it is. Now we're back to what we originally had, but I don't want to see that. I want to see a different reflection there. I want to see that HDR in the reflection. And I want to see, I mean, look at that. We've got the background different and you got the reflection different totally, right? Independent. It's just more control. If I go back to backdrop, boom, now we're back to this. So now I can independently move this and but again, our light source is coming here from this right side, right? Because our shadow, look at our shadow. Right, so this kind of doesn't make sense to have the light over here, but that will be blowing out the shadow. We wouldn't see a shadow there, so I can just fake it. Oh, there's two lights, but this makes sense. Okay, you see a light here, so that makes sense, right? But here it is. It's a complete different. Now I've got a studio environment, so that's the only reason, the thing that's basically being done differently. I'm just telling what HDR I want to see in refractions, and backgrounds based on plugging things into this visible environment. That's what I visually want to see. And then making sure these are checked here. If these are not checked, it does not work, right? It does not work. Boom. It goes back to there. This is just doing nothing. So these have to be checked, okay? And then other than that, these other guys here, if I wanted to take all of this out, no, I just want to do a white, like a blue backdrop. So I'll go to source number 2, right? And source number 2 brings up this. And it's white, but I'm going to change it to blue. Now we're seeing, oh, there's our blue light. It's just blue light because that's all this is affecting. Look, this is just affecting light. Now if I come in here and I take the copy of this and drag it onto this so it's matching, Now I want to say, hey, this texture environment, I want this to be in the backplate, in the reflections and the refractions. I want it to be everywhere. Go ahead and set that to 2. Boom. Now we got this blue void world, right? That's it. And that's everything, right? I can turn this off, all right? But we're still seeing blue because it's just the way it's set up. If I wanted to see the HDRI or something, then I would probably switch it back to turn this off. And we need to set this probably to back to 1. There it is again. But maybe we can go backplate and then turn this backplate off. There. Now we've got everything, but we've got the reflection and the glow different, right? So it just gives you more control. That's the only reason why I did that. And it might be a little confusing for beginners, but once you understand the core concept of why I did this, it's really easy and it's really time suited and it gives you lots of options. If you guys want to see more videos like this, you can join my Blender Octane School community and have access to the full 101 guide. For the next 7 days, I'll knock $10 off. Links down in the description. See you guys on the inside. Peace.